Ground into our seat, shall we? I have a good friend who's a pilot. She drives private planes, and she'll write and say, "Oh yeah, I'm grounded for this week. I'm grounded the next couple days." That's kind of given me such a different, I guess, context for grounding. And so just kind of imagine, like, if you were really up in the sky for your job all the time, and imagine being grounded, like your feet on the ground, you're not working, it's a day off. So imagine as we ground that we're not working, it's a day off. Nobody's lives are in our hands. We can chill out as we ground, connecting to the breath. Maybe our palms are down, looks like most people's are, or maybe your palms are up. Feeling the breath. And let's just experiment counting down from 5 to 1, just over and over at your own pace. It doesn't have to be with the breath, but just kind of counting down. When you get to 0, start again at 5, counting down. Dropping into our space by counting down from 5 to 0 over and over. You cannot do this incorrectly. Now, wherever you are, just gently pausing the counting. And let's scan the body, our outer landscape, the physical body. The inner landscape, that energetic body, how the blood feels like it's flowing or the breath feels like it's flowing. And now let's count up to 5. So starting at 0, counting up to 5, just over and over. Now gently coming to a pause. And again, scanning the inner landscape and the outer landscape of our being. Perhaps noticing if there's a difference in the body, counting up versus counting down, if you can recall. It's another tool for us with the breath, connecting it to the mind and the body, how we can serve ourselves with our breath. Maybe bringing hands to our heart space. Our Loving Kindness Thursday. Let's fill our heart with loving kindness towards ourselves before we begin to move. The movement aspect of our practice supports us in releasing impurities from the body. That's why it's especially helpful to move a little bit before we maybe sit for pranayama or meditation. By saying this loving kindness to ourselves first, it kind of sets the intention of that purification, that physical purification of the body. So maybe saying out loud or to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. May I feel connected to Source. Now maybe counting down from 5 or counting up to 5, whichever you prefer, or just whichever you choose. And then when you get to 0 or you get to 5, let's meet in standing. Once we get to standing, maybe rocking forward and back on the feet. Lifting heels, perhaps then lifting the fronts of the feet. And then once you kind of feel out those different spots in the feet, plant the feet, ground the feet, be bouncing to the knees, and then stand up tall. Shining the heart forward, dropping the shoulders up, back, and down. Maybe the palms shine outward, maybe shine towards the thighs. Yeah, really nice, guys. And let's feel that inner landscape. Where is the blood flowing? Where is the energy within, underneath that skin? What are we feeling? And that outer landscape. Where is the air meeting the skin? Where is the light meeting the eyes? Those smells meeting the nose. Maybe rubbing the lips together. And now let's inhale, sweep our hands above the head, feeling that air on the fingertips. Bring the hands out wide as we dive forward, all the way Uttanasana. Let's do it again, bend the knees, rise up, sweep the hands through the sky. Exhale, folding forward. And now maybe a few more times in your own pace. You can pause the top, the bottom, pause halfway, pause 7/8 of the way. Just move at your own body's cueing. Let it inform you how fast, how slow, what depths, and how to move. Nice job, guys. Let's meet in standing together with our hands wherever feels right for them to land. Really nice. Now our first kind of grounding, standing, balancing shape is going to be to ground into that right foot. And grounding into that right foot, let's draw the left knee up. So maybe it's in line with the hip, maybe it's kind of down. But see if you can't place your right hand on the top of the thigh. Try to ground, there we go. And now sweep the left arm up to sky. And now reach up behind us. Maybe press the hand into the right hand into that thigh. See if that helps us as we reach back. And now let's bring the left hand forward. Keep the right hand on the thigh. It kind of helps us steady a little. Left hand shining forward. Sweep the left hand up. And now ground the left foot, bring the left or the right arm up. Let's sit in our chair, tuck the pelvis. Any variation with the arms now. Feeling into the feet, perhaps the same way we just did, standing, rocking forward and back. Maybe noticing some different sensations like burning, or just different muscle fibers is awakening. Maybe it's not a burn for you. Let's rise all the way up. Let the hands come down to the side. Now grounding that left foot, draw the right knee up. And then once you get that nice solid foundation, let's draw the left hand onto the right thigh. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And then open up towards the right, twisting back. The right hand can go back. Maybe you follow it with the gaze. Maybe your gaze is forward. Just opening across the shoulder, adding a little bit of balance here. Seeing how it feels. Really good. Let's bring the right arm forward. Keep the left hand on that thigh. Right arm comes up. Left arm comes up. Ground the right foot. And let's sit it back in our chair again. Tucking the pelvis. Heart lifts. Maybe you sweep the arms to reach behind you. Kind of in opposite directions with our energy. We can rock onto the balls of the feet, onto the heels. And now sweep the arms up as we straighten the legs. And let's dive it forward. Exhale, Uttanasana. Let the head hang. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Maybe bring the hands to the thighs and just move that head around. Let it dangle, let it move. And now let's release the hands to the ground. Step the feet back. Let's find tabletop together. Once you get to that table, just give yourself whatever movements kind of feel nice for the body after standing in a nice, strong, balancing pose. So kind of grounding in a different way here as we have 4 points of contact, the hands and the knees, and then the 6 with the feet. So offering any movements. Now let's meet together in 3, and 2, and 1, finding tabletop. From this tabletop, let's extend the right leg back, maybe bringing the heel in line with the hip. Maybe kind of be mindful of the back. It can maybe dip or be flatter. With that right leg long, let's bring the left arm out long. And then let's round the back, bring the knee to the elbow. Let's stay here for 3, 2, 1. And then we'll inhale, lengthen through the heel, lengthen through the fingertips. Breathe in. Now exhale, plant that left hand. An option here can be to stand nice and long through the right foot or bend the elbows and lower that nose down. It's not quite the cobra push-ups that we like, but it's kind of similar in the sense that we have a knee to support us. Maybe you go down another time and you exhale to press up. Maybe one last time, lowering the nose to the floor and then pressing up. And then draw that right knee in. Let's sit back in child's pose. Maybe scanning our inner landscape. Let's exhale, roll up. Plant the hands, get those knees steady. Maybe tap the tops of those feet on the ground. And then as you're ready, let's extend the left leg back on an inhale. Maybe getting that angle, maybe feeling it in line with the hip, tucking that pelvis. Pausing here. And when you're ready, maybe on an inhale, you bring that right arm forward. Maybe it doesn't ever feel right to bring the right arm forward, and that's okay. If your right arm is forward, let's draw the elbow and the knee together on an exhale. And then we'll extend, lengthening through the fingertips and the heel. Exhale, draw knee and elbow together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round, and as if they were glued together, we can't get them apart. Counting down from 3, and 2, and 1. And then inhale, lengthen. This time, place the right hand on the floor. If you need to, you can bring that left knee down and kind of give the wrists a break before we come into a little bird dog push-ups. You can bend the elbows and lower that nose to the ground. And we can press it up. If you want, just bring both knees down and do little lowers. That's better. And just one more. Lower with the nose. Exhale, press up. And now bring that left knee down. Let's walk our hands forward into our puppy pose. The heart all the way to the floor. Maybe the forearms are down. They can be lifted too. So maybe you could try both. Pressing the palms down so the arms are off the ground, or lowering the forearms so they're glued to the ground. Let's breathe in and out. And then we'll inhale. Exhale, lower those forearms down if they're not there already. You can rock it forward and then extend those legs nice and long, lowering down the belly. Those hips, sits bones to the sky. Let's find our Sphinx. So elbows under the shoulders, lifting the heart. If it doesn't feel good in the low back to have your elbows under the shoulders, we can always walk them forward. Remember that. Always remember that. That's going to lower the belly a little more, so it's less of compression, less of a back bend with those elbows forward. So just being really honest with where our energy is and where that inner landscape is kind of directing us today. Breathing in and out here. And then maybe on your next exhale, you draw those elbows under the shoulders, unless they're there already. Curl the toes under. Maybe you lift the hips. You can keep your knees lowered. Or if you want, you can lift the knees, coming into full forearm plank. Or those knees can be grounded. You can ground the knees. Maybe you'll try both, and you notice that there's still effort. Doesn't mean you're wimpy if you lower the knees, right? Sometimes we have this idea that if we don't do it this way or that way, then that means that we're less worthy, but that's so false. We're not worth anything because of what we do on the mat. We're just here to purify the physical body. So when you're ready, let's lower everything down again, the tops of the thighs, maybe the hips come down. This time, let's lower the belly and those lower ribs. Bring the arms out, kind of like, not quite T. You can bring them out like a T if you want, but maybe a little bend in the elbows. And the fingertips are on the ground. We're going to do our shoulder dip. So with those fingers, out like a T or maybe a little closer. Legs are long. Exhale to drop that left shoulder to the ground. Maybe it just touches or maybe it hovers. Hold and pause for 3, 2, 1. Exhale to lift. Bring the head through center. And then drop that right shoulder down to the ground, looking over to the left. Maybe you lower the head to the ground if you want. Exhale, bring your head through center. Drop the left shoulder. And here we are. The other side. Exhale, bring the right shoulder down. And then back to the middle. Let's release the fingertips from the floor. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. And then exhale to draw the heart up, lifting the chest. The low back is active as we lift the chest. Place those elbows exactly where it feels good for your low back. And then maybe pull those elbows towards the hips and the hips towards the elbows. So you feel that the lower back sliding on. Breathe in. Good. Exhale, let's lower everything down. Press the hands under the shoulders. And let's press up and back, finding puppy or child's pose. We're going to lengthen that low spine now. So dropping the sits bones towards the heels, or maybe coming into puppy. Maybe you find downward facing dog. Any of those three are going to really lengthen the spine. Yeah, nice. So just feel into your space. Good, guys. Really nice. Really nice. Another breath. Let's exhale wherever you're at, meeting standing. So however you get there, just make your way. One's not better than the other. This new perspective of standing after being on the floor. Give yourself a moment to soak in this new perspective. Breathing in. Maybe shake it out. Now let's plant the left foot, step the right foot back, then pivot that right heel down. Then feel into maybe a bent front knee. You can bend a lot, it can bend a little. Your feet can be close together, maybe they're far apart. So see what feels good today. Then maybe you tuck that pelvis, turning on just a little bit of the tailbone drops and the navel lifts. And maybe we bring our arms out like a T. Nice, guys, breathe in. Let's exhale, straighten that leg and bring the palms overhead. And then inhale when you get to the top and pause at the top. And exhale, bend and open. Let's do that 2 more times. This time we'll inhale to straighten and bring the palms together. Exhale, lengthen and bend. One more time, inhale, bring palms together. Keep the legs straight and then drop the arms. Yes. Pivot the left foot towards the long edge. So both feet towards that long edge. And now let's bend the left knee and come into our side lunge on the left. Now, any variation with the arms. Maybe you keep hand on the hip. Well, let's cross that right hand over to the left side of the thigh. Maybe the hand comes to the thigh or the back of the hand and kind of turn the heart towards the left. So we're kind of in a side lunge twist. Nice, guys. Yeah, really good. So the right arm, yep. So I'm over on the left and my right arm, so the right arm is on the side. So kind of like that. Yeah. Like a speed skater. Now let's bring it through the middle. Good. And then we'll bend over to the other side. So we're over to the right. And then our left arm, so the opposite arm of the bent leg, comes towards that thigh, twisting over. Breathing in. And let's do it again. Over to the left, right hand across. Over to the right, left hand across. And bring it back to middle, straighten the legs, reach out. Really nice, guys, good, breathe in. Turn the toes towards the corners of the mat and then drop down into your goddess squat. Maybe it's a shorter squat today than normal. Maybe it's lower than normal, all right? Okay, keep those arms out, yep. This time we're not gonna cross the body with the arm. We're just gonna drop the left arm right on the inside of that left leg and kind of twist. Maybe you feel that side body lengthen as you reach the right arm to sky. Let's exhale, bring up out like a T. We can be in our goddess for 3 breaths, or maybe you straighten the legs into extended mountain pose for 3 breaths, so your choice. You're in extended mountain pose, bend those knees, drop the hips, and then bring that right arm on the inside, reach the left to sky. Swami Rupa says, be mindful of your meditation and pranayama because it just makes you more of who you are. Let's bring up back to extended mountain pose. So that's why it's so helpful to move sometimes before we sit. It doesn't have to be a whole entire class. It can be like 5 minutes. And then sit with a fresh mind. So we're going to do that right now. We're moving before we pranayama, before we sit. Bring our arms above the head. Exhale, pivot the right foot towards the long edge. Angle that left foot more towards the front. Yep, and then drop the arms out like a T again. Reach past that left foot with the left hand, and then drop the left arm in front of that left leg, just like we did in our goddess squat. Utthita Trikonasana. Bring your left arm up like a pillow for your ear. Maybe your right arm comes over the head as if you're catching a beach ball. Breathe in. However you want to come out of this, maybe you bring one arm at a time and up to a T. Pivot the left foot towards the long edge. Maybe you want to rest in extended mountain pose. Maybe you want to rest in a goddess. So finding what is going to support your purification of this physical body today. And then we'll exhale to straighten the legs if they're not there already. Left foot towards the long edge, right foot towards the short edge. Settle into the feet, grounding. Inhale to extend the arms. And then reach that right arm forward, stretch. And then exhale, drop it on the inside of that leg, left arm. Maybe to sky, maybe it's on the low back. Sometimes I bring my hand to the low back and I feel my heart kind of open more with that shoulder back. So whatever feels good. Just exploring with curiosity and non-judgment. If you want to catch a beach ball, you can extend the arms. Let's breathe in. This time we'll exhale to bring the left hand towards the right. Maybe our gaze is towards the floor. Let's bend that right knee. Pivot the left foot towards the right foot so they're kind of pointing in that same direction. Let's straighten that right leg. And here we are, pyramid pose. We can fold over that leg. We can keep our hands on our hips and be in our half pyramid. Bring the breath into the body. Exhale, let the breath go and lower the hands, bend the knee. Let's lower the knees to the ground, left knee and then maybe the right. Once we get the knees down, plant the hands, and now lower the chest and the chin down, and then slide those knees back. Come on to the belly, maybe lift the heart, finding ourselves in baby cobra. Breathe in. Exhale back to downward facing dog, lifting the hips, lifting the sits bones. Exhale. You might be facing the back of the mat, and that's okay. Don't worry. We'll make it to the top. Breathe in and out. Exhale. Another breath in. Let the breath go. Now step the right foot forward. Pivot the left foot towards the long edge. Now the right foot towards the long edge. Bend the knees, rise up, extend a mountain pose again. Fresh face, fresh perspective, standing. Good. Exhale, pivot the left foot towards the front of the mat or towards the left. Then pivot that right foot in the same direction as the left foot. Bring the arms up above the head. When you're ready, we can fold into that pyramid. Maybe you only go halfway. I'm going to go half. So if you want to go full, just know that it's there. If you want to go half, you can go half. Breathing in and out here. Breath in. And then bend the knee, drop the hands down to frame the foot. Let's lower the right knee down, step the left knee to meet the right. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And now walk those knees back. And then we'll lower down our chest and our chin this time. And we'll pause with our chin and our chest lowered. Good. Inhale, lifting the heart and the chest. Let's hover the hands this time. Now, pay attention to that low back. And notice the higher you lift your chest, the more active that low back is going to be. So let that be your guide. How active do you want that low back? And then you can lower the hands. Maybe the elbows are in front of the shoulders. Maybe the elbows are underneath the shoulders. So the height of the heart, the distance or the placement of the elbows is all going to impact the low back. So find that sweet spot for you. And then when you're ready, let's lower down the heart and we bring the arms to the side, placing the cheek on the floor. a little neutral spine for a couple of breaths. And now place hands under shoulders and then press either to child's pose or puppy pose or downward facing dog to lengthen out that spine. Nice job, guys. So many different variations here to honor your own self. When you're ready, let's make our way seated with our legs out in front. So whether you're in child's pose or puppy pose or downward facing dog, yes, make your way there. When you get there, you can start with the legs kind of out straight and then draw the right leg out to a little bit of an angle. It doesn't have to be a big one, but just a little. And then we'll draw the left foot in, so it may be the foot, sole of the foot's kind of near that right thigh. So the left leg is bent, the right leg is out long. And let's inhale to draw the arms up above the head. So right now our heart is shining forward and that leg is maybe out to the right just a little bit. We exhale to turn the heart towards the foot, flex the foot towards the face. And let's really slowly, counting down from 3 to 0, go halfway. So really nice and slow with control that low back, maybe the belly. 3, 2, 1, 0, halfway. Scan the body. Maybe notice the low back, the leg. See if you want to stay here. Or maybe you slowly count down from 3 to lower those hands towards the floor. Either stay active with arms out or rest the hands on the floor, so it's your choice. And there's no right or wrong. Now, whenever you're ready, wherever you're at, beginning to lift those arms back up. So fingertips come to the sky with control. Really nice, guys. Heart shines forward, shifting the heart straight. Let's lower down the arms. Ooh. Grounding the hands or the fingertips. Now maybe bring that right leg in a little, bring the left knee to sky. Send the legs long. You can thunder thigh it out, slapping the legs down. Maybe you just wiggle the feet back and forth. And then draw the left leg over to the side, and then we'll bring the right foot in. And then get those sits bones just right. When you're ready, we'll draw the arms up. Maybe you don't want to draw the arms up. You can keep the hands in the hips. Okay, so I'm going to just model that. You guys can bring your arms up. When you're ready, turn that heart towards the foot. And then when you're ready, counting down from 3 to 0, we'll lower that heart halfway. So really strong torso here, guys. 2, 1, 0. You can pause. If you want to keep lowering, let's count it down to lower, just to move slowly and with awareness, to feel the subtleties in the body. If you want to lower that heart down, so maybe 2, 1, 0. We're breathing here, breathing into the strength of this shape, the benefits on the physical body, knowing that the benefits that we do physically, they also impact us on every other level. When you're ready on your own time, just counting slowly up, maybe to 5 as you draw those hands back to sky, lift the shoulders and back. And then shine the heart forward. Yep, lower the arms whenever it feels nice. Let's bring the right knee up to sky. Send the right leg long. Then that left leg is long. So maybe the feet are together. Find those sits bones on the floor. Let's try this with a block. If you don't have a block handy, it's no problem. But I'm just going to show you something that kind of I like to do sometimes. And the block is there to support me As I draw my hands down, we're going to come into our Paschimottanasana, that forward fold. But bring the block up overhead maybe. Press the hands into the block. You might notice a strong side body. Yes, those lats. Shoulders come down, so the shoulder blades slide down. Let's breathe in. Flex the feet towards the face, and we'll lower halfway, counting down from 3, hinging forward, 2, 1, 0. Pause. Now maybe if you're starting to feel a pull in the legs or the back, you can tuck the chin to chest. Let's lower the rest of the way. I like the block here, guys, because then I can rest the block on my shins and my wrists on the block and fold. And when I rest my wrists on the block, I kind of feel a little pull in the back of the arm. Sometimes people might want to bring the block at the end of the feet and then pull out of that block to the foot. Maybe you place the block under the forehead and rest the forehead on the block. Be here for a few more breaths, unless you're ready to lift up and release the shape before we do it together. You can do that. And one more breath. And then exhale, gently kind of lift the head a little bit. Find that block. If you place it somewhere, you can put it back between your hands. And slowly rise, lifting that block, lifting the arms, bringing the shoulders over the hips. And then exhale, let's bring the hands out to the side. Just hold that block, place it somewhere handy. Now let's roll to one side and make our way to our backs. Our first time on our backs today in class. Closing class on our backs. So getting the entire spine flat, bring your feet to the floor. And I know the crowd went wild last week when we placed that block under the sacrum, so let's do that again if you want to try that. So with your feet on the floor, press the feet down, lift the hips. If you want, you can slide that block just underneath the sacrum. And then rest that sacrum on the block. And then with control, place the hands down and lift the knee. Getting that balance on the block. And you can extend the legs long. You can also do this without the block. The block should not hurt. So if it's hurting, it might not be in the right spot. Give ourselves just a couple moments here. Another different perspective, especially for the physical body, to have these feet up high. I don't do this much throughout the day. I don't know about you guys. So just letting the body feel the benefits of this. Let me close the eyes. Counting down from 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. You're welcome to stay here a little while longer if you want. If you want, you can bend the knees, lower the feet down. Lift the hips, remove the block, and find your Shavasana. Maybe for an inhale, you scan the inner landscape. And exhale, thank yourself for being here. Your next inhale, just scanning the outer part of the body. Exhale, letting it go. So letting go of all effort to notice, letting go of any effort to be grateful, just letting go, just being. Now an option to rest in Shavasana. If you'd like to join for a few rounds of our Nadi Shodhana pranayama before our meditation, and just make your way to a seat. Know that there's always the option to just stay in Shavasana. If you want, you can come up for pranayama. There's no rush. Giving yourselves a moment to transition from the floor to seated, and again, the new perspective from being on the ground. Maybe noticing as you sit the different bends in the body than when we're lying flat. Let's bring our left hand to our Yana Mudra, that index and thumb together, 3 fingers out, yep. Then our thumb and ring finger on the nostrils. Those other 2 fingers, the middle and index, can either be on that third eye or tucked in. We'll breathe in normally through both. Exhale through both. Let's close the right side. Inhale the left for 1, 2. Close left, exhale right, 6, 5. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. And release your hand from your nose. And pause. Now maybe saying out loud to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. May I feel connected to Source. Now visualizing someone you love, someone you hold dear, and extending this energy to them. And say, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. May you feel connected to Source. Now bringing to mind someone that you don't know very well. Maybe you just see in passing. And say to them, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. May you feel connected to Source. Now visualizing someone, or just bringing to mind someone that maybe you disagree with, or have had a falling out, or a sour conversation with. And say to that person, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. May you feel connected to Source. Now extending all of those energies to all of us here in this room. Let's exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste. Mm.